Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Wednesday, July 19, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link to our Patreon in the description and comments section below. Milwaukee Brewers vs Philadelphia Phillies. The Milwaukee Brewers have been an awful offensive team this year, as they are 26th in the sport with a .690 team ops, while scoring 4.17 runs per game. This team has been brutal on the road so far, as they have a .233, .312, .360 team slash line, while averaging 3.96 runs during their 47 games on the road this season. Left fielder Christian Yelich has been leading the charge for the lineup, as he has a .850 ops with 13 home runs, 49 RBIs, 69 runs scored, and 21 steals on 23 attempts. The Philadelphia Phillies have been a good offensive team throughout the year, as they are currently 11th in the majors, with a .745 team ops, while averaging 4.58 runs per game. They have been doing a good job at the plate inside of Citizens Bank Park, as in 51 home games, the team has a .739 team ops, while scoring 4.43 runs per game. Right fielder Nick Castellanos has been hitting well, as he has a .808 ops with 13 homers, 55 RBIs, 51 runs scored, and 6 steals on 8 tries. Christopher Sanchez has also been struggling throughout the year, according to his baseball saving page, as he is in the 8th percentile in barrel percentage, 19th percentile in hard hit percentage, 28th percentile in average exit velocity, and 29th percentile in XSLG. Sanchez has 3 different pitches: sinker, changeup, slider, and his changeup has been his best pitch, as hitters have a .167 batting average and a .467 slugging percentage. He faced the Brewers once last season, but he did not factor into the decision, as he threw 2.1 innings and gave up 1 run on 1 hit with 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. The Milwaukee Brewers should win this game. The Brewers have a better pitching staff than the Phillies, and they have a more experienced pitcher starting in Wade Miley. Miley has a 2.73 ERA and a .202 opposing batting average in 7 road games this season, while Christopher Sanchez is 0-3 with a 4.43 ERA and a .253 batting average in 4 starts at Citizens Bank Park. The Brewers and Phillies have been very similar this season, but I think the Brewers will win this game because of their pitching advantage. These offenses in the last 10 games have done well, but not well enough to reach the total, as Milwaukee is averaging 4.4 runs per game, while Philadelphia is scoring 4.9 runs per game. Throughout the month of July, these teams have been pitching incredibly well, as the Brew Crew is 9th in baseball, with a 3.68 team ERA in their 12 July games, while the Phillies are 12th in MLB, while pitching to a 3.97 team ERA over their 12 July games. All in all, go with under 9.5 runs in this game. Arizona Diamondbacks vs Atlanta Braves. Arizona had a disappointing first series out of the break, as they were swept by the Blue Jays, but are still in the second wild card spot. This season, the Diamondbacks are slashing .257, .326, .425, which ranks 10th, and 9th in the majors, while on the road are slashing .254, .324, .415. However, in the month of July, Arizona is slashing .210, .297, .326, and against Martin, Carroll is 1-2, Walker bats .429 in 7 abs, Ahmed bats .375 in 8 abs, Perdomo hits .333 in 6 abs, Longoria, Mart, Gurriel Jr., and McCarthy are all batting .200 against the righty. Atlanta has the best record in baseball and will look to add to that against the Diamondbacks. On Wednesday, the Braves are starting right-hander Charlie Morton, who's 10-6 with a 3.20 ERA, while in his last start, he went 7 innings, allowing 3 hits and 0 runs against the White Sox. In his last 5 starts, he's 5-0 with a 2.17 ERA, and against Arizona this year, he's 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA. The Braves have one of the best defenses in the majors, as Atlanta slashes .270, .339, .490, which rank second, and first in the majors. At home, the Braves slash .276, .345, .496, while in the month of July are slashing .255, .324, .464, while against Nelson, Ozuna is 1-1, Murphy bats .667 in 3 abs, Rosario bats .667 in 3 abs, Acuna Jr. is 1-3, while Harris, Riley and Arcia are 0-2, and Albies and Olsen are 0-1. The Atlanta Braves should win this game by more than 1.5 runs. The Braves have a good chance of winning this game because of their pitching and their offense. Charlie Morton has been pitching well in his last 5 starts, and the Braves' offense has been scoring a lot of runs. Arizona has been struggling lately, and they have lost 4 of their last 5 games by more than 1.5 runs. In the 3 games that the Braves and Diamondbacks have played this season, the Braves have won both games by more than 1.5 runs. I think the Braves will win this game by a similar margin. Although the Braves can score plenty of runs, and the Diamondbacks' defense does struggle at times, 10.5 runs is just too high for this game, especially with Morton on the mound. The right-hander has been solid and doesn't give up many runs, which makes hitting the under more likely. Meanwhile, the D-backs are 46-42-6 in hitting the under, while the Braves are 40-49-3. In the 3 games they have played, only 1 game went over 10.5 runs, and in total, the games are averaging 8.3 runs per game. Finally, in Nelson's last 5 starts, he's allowing just 2.8 runs per start, and Morton is allowing 1.8 runs per start, which is why I like the under. Take the under 10.5 runs. Washington Nationals vs Chicago Cubs. Washington enters this game ranked last in the NL East and having split the first 2 games of their current 3-game series against the Cubs. In their most recent 17-3 loss, Patrick Corbin got the start and threw 5.1 innings, allowing 6 hits that resulted in 3 runs, while striking out 6. Amos Willingham relieved Corbin and allowed an additional 4 runs over the course of 2 outs. Unfortunately, it only got worse from that point, as the Nationals allowed 8 more runs in the following inning. On the offensive end, the Nationals totaled 9 hits and 3 runs in the game. Dominic Smith and Keibert Ruiz had the team's only multi-hit games, while Lane Thomas had the team's only home run. Overall, it was a tough loss for the Nationals, as the pitching staff did not come ready to compete to win the game. The batting lineup for the Nationals has struggled so far this season, with Lane Thomas leading the team in most categories. Thomas leads the team in hits, average, OBP, home runs, and RBIs with 110 hits, 15 home runs, 51 RBIs, and a .29 3.34 2.488 line in his also team-leading 375 at-bats. Joey Menezes and Dominic Smith have also performed well, but for the Nationals to find more success moving forward, they need consistent production from the rest of their hitters. Moving forward. Without that, the Nationals will continue to drop games and decline in the standings. Chicago enters this game ranked 3rd in the NL Central and having split the first 2 games of their current 3-game series against the Nationals. In their most recent 17-3 loss, Jameson Taillon got the start and threw 5.2 innings, in which he allowed 7 hits that resulted in 3 earned runs. From the on, it was a bullpen game for the Cubs, which held the Nationals scoreless for the remainder of the game. On the offensive end, the Cubs totaled 20 hits and 17 runs in the game. Seiya Suzuki led the offense, going 4-6 with a home run and 3 RBIs, while Nico Horner also went 3-6 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Overall, it was a great win for the Cubs as they won big in front of their fans at home in Game 2. The Cubs give right-hander Kyle Hendricks the start for Game 3 in hopes of winning the series and back-to-back games. Hendricks has had a solid first half of the season, posting a 4.3 record, along with a 3.57 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP in those starts. His most recent start came against the Red Sox, in which he threw 4.2 innings and allowed 8 hits that resulted in 5 runs while striking out 5. I would expect a better performance from Hendricks in his upcoming start, as he is facing a weaker opponent in the Nationals. The Chicago Cubs are the better team overall, and they are coming off a big win in their last game. The Cubs won 17-3, and they will be looking to continue their momentum. Kyle Hendricks will be starting for the Cubs, and he has a good record this season. Hendricks has a 3.57 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP, while Trevor Williams will be starting for the Pirates. Williams has a 4.42 ERA and a 1.42 WHIP, so the Cubs have a pitching advantage. The Cubs hitters will also be looking to take advantage of the poor pitching. The Pirates have been struggling lately, and they have allowed a lot of runs. I think the Cubs will win this game, and I would recommend betting on the Cubs ML. Taking the over in this game for a couple of reasons. These teams have gone over in the first 2 games of the series and have showed no signs of slowing. The total is set a tad low at 8.5, so try to find this value before the lines increase to 9 and 9.5 throughout the day. We see an average pitching matchup with Hendricks facing off against Williams, both being pitchers with ERAs over 3.50 on the season. These pitchers should be good for a handful of runs each in the first 5 innings, with some spotty bullpen work taking us over this total in the later innings. Home runs will be hit and plenty of runs will be scored, as this game easily goes over again as it has the past 2 nights. Over 8.5.